What's up, guys? We are back with another G.I. Joe Classified Series review, and we're taking a look at another exclusive Cobra Island figure. And this one has taken a bit of a tumble and has seen better days because it looks like somebody at Target decided that they were tired of all the nonsense with this line and just decided to stomp on old Beachhead here. But thankfully, I'm not too concerned about this box, so I finally got my hands on one. So we've got him here in our standard packaging for the line, but of course it does have that little extra Cobra Island call out on the front. You've got the figure in the window, some fantastic artwork of Beachhead down there in the bottom corner that wraps around to more artwork on the back. He has got the kind of nameplate stat icon thing going on the other side, and he is number 10 in the line. And then of course the back of this box, since it is a Cobra Island figure, has got that schematic kind of map/plan thing going on for Cobra Island itself. So yeah, let's do it. Let's pull him out and take a look. And here he is out of the package, our Cobra Island Beachhead figure. This definitely seems to be one that a lot of folks have truly been like, must have, I have to get this figure, and I have no connection to Beachhead whatsoever. So this guy was not even remotely at the top of the list. Well, he wasn't at the bottom, Roadblock was at the bottom, but he wasn't at the top of my list either, but he is a really solid figure. Like this very much in a number of ways kind of just oozes G.I. Joe for me. So let's take a look, see what this guy can do, see how he moves around. He is going to be fairly standard, at least as far as this line goes, but there is one thing to talk about with him that's a little bit different than some of the figures, not all of them. So you've got a head that can look up pretty far. He can look down really good as well. You've got an articulated neck and head, so that of course plays a factor here. You've got not much tilt, but you can tilt the neck to move that, and then you've got full rotation as well. The arms go out at the shoulders. They rotate, of course. We've got our butterfly joint, but it's pretty minimal. It goes backwards further than it goes forwards because of the vest that he's got. That does play a factor in his overall articulation, obviously. You've got rotation at the bicep. We've got our double jointed elbows, and then you've got vertical hinges at the wrist with rotation on one side, and then horizontal lateral hinges on the other. He does have an ab crunch in here just because the body has one, but he can't really use it. And then you've got your ball peg at the waist, so he can go side to side a little. He goes forward and backward, and then of course you can rotate him. The legs go out about that far. He is using, I'm pretty sure these are Duke's legs, so they're pretty similar to that. They kick forward about that far. They do drop down a little bit as well, so you've got the drop down action going on. And then of course you've got your thigh cut, which is hidden really well by these pads and straps. You've got your double jointed knees, so they go back about that far. And then you've got your boot cut, shin swivel, and then you've got rocker, and you've got hinge, but he can't really kick forward too much because of these armor plates. He can really only kick backwards. So he can go forward like one click, but then you can go backwards quite a bit. So he is fairly standard for the line. You know, the only real hindrance that he's got in a general sense is the fact that he's got the big rubber vest on. So it's very similar to Roadblock, the original figure, where he had that big vest on him where it definitely hinders him at the ab crunch area, but the rest of him is very standard for the classified line. Now, as far as the looks go, I'm pretty well sold on how this guy is kitted out. He very much, again, oozes kind of the G.I. Joe look and feel. So he's got the big rubber vest on that's covered in pouches. There's a little bit of paint on that as far as this little logo up here, and then differing shades of kind of brown that are on the inside of that. And then the back, he's got a hole for the backpack. It is an accessory, but it's very much a part of his look. You don't have to use it, but I figured we'd throw it on him now. So you've got that, just like the beret is an accessory as well. He's got a lot of weapons and accessory storage, so I'm always down for that. We've got the very signature color right now for him as far as the green. That's pretty unique in this line so far. And it's all molded plastic with a little bit of paint accents on it as far as like the sleeves down here on the back side, and then these pouches up top. You've got the holsters and some pouches and doodads all over his legs. So you've got a holster down here for a gun. You've got some doodads on this side. You've got a sheath down here for his knife at the boot level with these armor pads, and you've got straps all over those. So again, it's kind of a very clandestine, special ops looking kind of dude. I don't have, again, much of a connection to Beachhead. I know he seems to be at least more popular than I expected, but he is a pretty cool looking figure. He definitely kind of exudes that G.I. Joe vibe, and very much comes through in this figure because he's not too crazily colored like some of the other figures. He doesn't really seem to have much of a quote-unquote Fortnite-y influence on him, so I think he looks really good. The head sculpt is really nicely done with the mask over there, the balaclava sitting over his head with the little bit of that light green kind of shading that's on the front
front, the mouth area. The photo printing for the eyes and the eyebrows are really crisp and clean. And there is a running change here. There's a blue-eyed version and a brown-eyed version. I don't know which is what. I don't know what's supposed to signify, but I've got the blue one, so I've got this one. And then you've got the beret on top here, which is, again, an accessory that you don't have to use, but I think it kind of complements him and completes a bit of a look for him. So he does look really, really sharp, honestly. I'm pretty happy with the way this guy turned out aesthetically. Sculpt is really good. Paint applications are crisp and clean. And then he just has that G.I. Joe look and feel, and he's going to go real well with your Joes. Now, as far as accessories goes, Beachhead has a pretty decent array, and you've seen most of them on him at this point throughout this review, but he does have a good amount of stuff. There is one big negative for me personally when it comes to these accessories, though, and that would mostly be the fact that they're green. I just don't like it. I don't like the fact that they're green. It takes any kind of real world aesthetic completely out of the picture for me when it comes to all of his weaponry. So it's not just the gun, it's everything that he has is green. So he's got this, kind of Nerf gun looking thing, and, knowing this line, it probably is a Nerf gun, and I just can't tell. But it does look good as far as sculpt goes. If it had a lot of paint on it, or if it was just gunmetal or something, I think it would look a lot better. You've got this pistol that's been in his holster throughout the review, and again, more just straight green plastic, so it matches the figure, but I don't know if that's important or not. I don't know if that's a thing for Beachhead to begin with, but it's not a thing for me. And then you've got a green knife, because why not? We've got the backpack, which I've already talked about, but it is an accessory. You don't have to use it. So it's done up in black. It's got a bunch of armaments all over it. So there's darts and like a mortar and various weaponry, various ammunition. And he's also got this kind of crossbow looking thing. It's not the same thing that Scarlet comes with. It's actually quite smaller by comparison. So you've got this, and it kind of fits in here almost. I don't know if it's supposed to or not. Like, you can sort of get it in the slot on this backpack. There's a hole there for some reason. So it's intended to be used for something, I assume. Like right there's a slot. So you can either put it that way or put it in this way almost. It doesn't really like to go in there, but you've got various ways to kind of put it in. It just seems really weird. So you can sort of slide it in. Well, sort of slide it in, and it'll stay in there. And once it's in, it doesn't seem to go anywhere, but it also seems kind of awkward as well. And then the last thing he comes with is his beret, which honestly might be my favorite accessory because it changes him up quite a bit. So you've got a very much more clandestine look when it comes to just the skull cap that he's got on. But then you pop that on and, he looks like he's ready for inspection or he's ready for his briefing. So he's got a decent amount of stuff. Again, my one big real gripe is green plastic. It's kind of weird. So, at the end of the day, Beachhead's a pretty solid figure, outside of the fact that him and the majority of the Cobra Island figures are still quite difficult to get a hold of these days. I think we've got a solid figure here. He's got great sculpt, good paint applications, he comes with a great array of accessories. The only true downside to that figure for me is the weaponry. It's just goofy looking when it comes to him having solid green guns. It's just not realistic, and I know that it matches his overall color scheme and his suit design, but it doesn't really work. I'd much rather have some sort of futuristic looking guns than just straight green. And then of course he doesn't really have an ab crunch because he's got the big rubber chest piece sitting over top of him, but I can overlook that because he does move pretty well otherwise. The big thing for me just comes down to the goofy looking guns. They work really well, they're very functional, but they're green. So that's going to do it for this look at the G.I. Joe Classified Cobra Island Beachhead. Let me know what you guys think. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and until next time.